Una good evening for all una fellow Ambazonians, for all our papa them, or mommy them. I salute all una. I be una brother Lucas Asu, una the press secretary for the executive office for Ambazonia Governing Council. I know say don't stay what talk una. You don't stay where una see me for ACN. You don't stay una see me for YouTube here. We don't get so many messages. P.S. Who's you day? We actually get a call from Ambazonia, one of Ambazonia Big Mami for Ground Zero. Big Mami calls a PS when we know the CEO so for ACN we don't know what they go on. PS what they go on. As all we know, because of the way things they did for we for out here. I the worker, I travel a lot because of work. So sometimes they be way based on the nature of work and traveling. I need to get time for place where for even for talk owner. I just set up for as an environment right now for make this quick outing so that I give you this important update. But the most important thing, I know say we don't stay with story, but I want make una know say they say una they get constant updates from DDC Capo Daniel. Una they get constant update from ACN. So now all we they do this work collectively. Make a start. I know saying at the end of the week this, and so I want to thank all una for una faith from Ambazonia. I want to thank all una for una belief for the new reality in Ambazonia. I want to thank all una for una commitment to our homeland, to our freedom, to our liberation, to our humanity. I want also send special salute for DDC Capo Daniel, the Ambazonia Defense Deputy Defense Chief, and also the spokesperson for the Ambazonia Governing Council, my brother and my very good friend Capo Daniel, the president of Ambazonia Governing Council and the leadership of Ambazonia Governing Council. If we choose Comrade Capo Daniel for represent the Ambazonia Governing Council, for represent the forces and what people them for a very big diplomatic trip for Asia, and the DDC Capo Daniel, they don't go that waka, they don't come back very safely. So thank you DDC for the growth, the trust, we you don't get them within the leadership, within the Ambazonian people them, and the effectiveness of your work as an advocate of the Ambazonian people, their freedom. All right. So thank you plenty. Make we get for the story. Before we enter for inside the story proper, make a take when I enter inside the state of Manu. Because of the sensitive nature of what happened for Manu yesterday, we be been a Saturday, number 26th day for November for 2022. Some development that happened for Manu, and I want to give you some updates, and I give you the background of which it go on within which they call and say Ambazonia Restoration Forces, which they call and say Manu Unity Warriors, which they call and say AMF, which they call and say their Ground Zero Command. Material now which they go on. Almost last year, a top general for Manu, he be killed by his own brother, his own friend. The general for Manu that they call it say animal picking. His own brothers, his best friend, Kili. A video be don't come out for outside. We all when I don't see them. I don't need for put them for una. When I see these two fighters them together for that video. During that time, they be the work under ADF around the 2018, 2019. The video come off outside. The moment that video come off outside, the story change. All the agents provocateurs for inside Ambazonian liberation, they come out. Start for talking no be ADF fighters and these, now ADF fighters no be ADF fighters and these. For make the story make it be very simple for una. Around 2019, the General Papi, he be work for integrity for ADF, make they get command and control, make them be more structured, and make they get a political leadership with an ideology and a purpose why they fight. For about 6 months, as DDC don't tell una this story, for about 6 months, we coordinate these forces. They will be very effective. There was no incident of kidnapping, of harassing the population, because they get education, they get a sense of direction, they get a sense of mission, they get a sense of purpose, and they get an identity as to why they fight and who they be. For about 6 months. Then, Wahala can enter inside. The colonial CPDM barons and the IG people, they don't believe for self-defense, but they want the credit of self-defense. They start for chook their hand inside these forces. Corruption start for enter inside. We can matter can reach for level where the mission commander and 2 forces, the place where they be there, they pick them up. We not hear from all of them anymore. 6 months later, Papi can come out for some country. It's enough for that country. We get a discussion with General Papi. In fact, Papi called me from Chad on a video call. He explained for me what he did. But I know say Papi will already enter under bad influence. Because we know what it Chad be about. I know what it happen when this forces them. We know Chad at the center of Boko Haram. So when Papi come out, say dinner for Chad, we not hear from him for 6 months. We know it's in a dangerous zone. I know what the Cameroon don't create them around Chad and northern Cameroon. At the center of Boko Haram. By the time Papi won't come back, he'll not be the same person. We'll not get contact anymore. As he come back, when I see what he do, he not stay, he catch animal picking, his own brother. He not only shoot to kill him, he cut his head. Make video, put them outside. Boko Haram tactics, Boko Haram style. The reason I for send a message for all other forces from Manu. Say any person where he attack La République du Cameroon, any force from Manu, any soldier where he fight the Cameroon military, he attack Cameroon colonial institution, I go cut your head like a cut animal picking a head. That the message that. Now when I don't hear the one we come out yesterday because the video be very graphic. I don't put them for my screen here for my program here. I'll not show for ACN because if it even block my YouTube channel for show that kind of video. When I don't see what happened yesterday, another commander for Manu, Papi don't catch you yesterday, scatter his face with bullets and then cut his head. For send a message to all those forces that they call themselves say Manu Unity Warriors. Because the deal now, I say, the deal within these Manu Unity Warriors, the deal within this Ground Zero Command, the deal with the CPDM elites, America not fight the Cameroon government. If they not fight the Cameroon government, if they not fight Cameroon military, the military will leave them alone for continue with the war extortion. That they deal that. If we are not attack the military, we are not touch anything in Cameroon, the military will leave alone. We are continue for those villages. We are do anything we want for those villages, as long as we are not attack the military. So that it will give a sense, say things don't come back to normal. And they bring one of this detailed information and make one understand as a people the choices we want to make. By these forces, we do not get political, they not be under any political leadership. Therefore, there is no accountability, there is no supervision, there is no sense of purpose. Any person feel by them. That's why they start for move them. When Sako come in, they want to sell those forces and transfer those forces, say they under Sako. It not still work up. They come out after they turn them up and down, up and down. Now, after about almost 5 years, when I don't see how they don't turn all these forces, them turn them, move them from one to another. They start with them, they say, oh, na county by county, oh, na AROF, oh, na Manu Unity Warriors, oh, na AMF. When I don't see place we don't can end now. When I don't see place we don't end. I want to ask all now. Since these forces them, they killed how many for Bonyi? They killed 69 Ambazonians for Bonyi. All the people them, including Chris Mosebini, including Professor Karsina Nyangwe now, we too don't talk say these forces them, are part of their forces them. Including Chris Mosebini, Professor Karsina Nyangwe, the IG Care, IG Siseko, IG Yerema, IG Sako, IG Chris Ano, IG Marianata, since the killing of 69 Ambazonians by these same Manu Unity Warriors or Restoration Forces. Now, how many of these people then will they claim say that they own these forces, they don't ever come for outside, can't take ownership and condemn the action? Including activists then like Mark Barretta, where they use these forces for raise money, for put them for their pocket. How many of them? No one. This new group, not be new group, but this group what they call the Southern Cameroon International Town Hall, when a proxy group for IG Care, for IG Siseko and IG Yerema. Because IG Siseko and IG Yerema, they no one tell the international community say they be involved for self-defense, so that they use now this group what they call and say Southern Cameroon International Town Hall will be created by Fontem Neba. I wanna know who Fontem Neba be. Fontem Neba, that the person where ye and Agbobala, Paul Biya moved them for prison and they signed a conditional agreement. Said no go ever stand for independence. From time never create Southern Cameroon International Town Hall. It don't move in hand for day. It leave them for extremists, a proxy extremist group with their goal now for destabilize the Ambazonian liberation struggle and for support anything the chaos on the ground. Now, Papi kill animal picking. The same Papi don't can kill this other general. Okay? How many of these people then? They don't come out. They can't talk say, wait till these forces that they do, I may not find. When I don't hear what happen for Berlin, these forces, they enter inside the intertribal war conflict, collect money from CPDM elites. They go enter inside that conflict, they burn houses, kill people them. How many of these so-called Southern Cameroon International Town Hall, they take responsibilities for the actions of these forces? There is none. And they bring una all this background and make una understand the complexity and the delicate dynamics of una liberation struggle for place where people that they push the liberation make it go for internal political agenda. Now the only reason this one they give una this analysis make una get the bigger picture of the dirty games within our liberation struggle. Una call these forces to order. When forces they not be under direct political leadership, anything goes. I don't wonder where they from you. I want just live and make una decide on ourselves, una make una own choices, una make una own mind. If una continue for support chaos, if they fit take a general, what he do? They say, oh, he come for what territory? He go for market, go collect money. Okay, if he come for your territory, go for market, go ask for money from mommy them. And the way that way when I go treaty, and the way that way when I go and for killy, and for cut head. Other ways, they when I feel resolve those kind of things. That's why forces they need for be under political leadership. So that there is a standard of expectation, there is a code of conduct, there is a code of behavior within forces. It'd be very dangerous to the population if they feel do this kind of thing to another commander, to another general. Imagine that's why they feel enter for villages, they kill 69. That's why they feel enter for villages, they burn an entire village, burn houses, rape mommy them, take all things come out. So if they feel cut a commander ahead, imagine what if they feel do for an Ambazonian girl will be vulnerable, to an Ambazonian mommy will be vulnerable, to an Ambazonian papa, to a brother, to a sister, to a community would be defenseless. All right. Now, there is a very delicate game which go on within La République du Cameroon, politically. And the Ambazonian people, they need to take it very seriously and they need to prepare themselves. La République du Cameroon, it go through an intensive process for a political transition. The failure of Paul Biya for resolve the conflict between Ambazonia and Cameroon for enter into a proper negotiation and for end this conflict and pull La République du Cameroon forces out of Ambazonia and end Cameroon occupation of Ambazonia. The failure of Paul Biya for do this thing, it don't leave Paul Biya with a very dirty legacy. Paul Biya don't get any legacy. There is no one thing with a Cameroonese, if he point out, say in Paul Biya is 40 years in power. Now the thing this way Paul Biya achieve to the Cameroonese people in no day. Since Paul Biya take over power, the Cameroon economy, it don't be grind to zero. Unemployment for Cameroon, it be almost at 90% unemployment. The unemployment rate for Cameroon, almost at 90%. Cameroon debt, only for this year alone, for 2022, it don't climb by 11%. Let me say the debt will not accumulate for 2022, the debt it don't climb again by another 11% on top of all what it don't borrow. So, beyond not getting any legacy, Cameroon be divided between the hawks and the people the way they want to make things change. The people who want to use force and brutality versus the one the way they think they say, okay, make they bring income to, make they bring in the opposition, make they bring all man, and then address a constitutional reform, then call for election before Paul Biya exit. Biya no want them so. Right now, Biya be very determined for make sure say Frank Biya it take over power from Cameroon. This one be very important to the Ambazonian people then because it will change the dynamics of the conflict. As I don't explain that for now, Paul Biya na a blessing to Ambazonia. Paul Biya na a blessing to Ambazonia. The evil of Paul Biya, it gives the Ambazonian people a greater level of sympathy within the international community. The evil, the massacres, the genocide, the destruction we Paul Biya don't cause for the Ambazonian people. It make Paul Biya be the worst person with the international community in one country. They don't want to hear about Paul Biya, they don't want to talk with Paul Biya, they don't want to catch Paul Biya. So Paul Biya don't remember for some small corner. 40 years legacy no day. It can't die. How Paul Biya fit escape safely? We no go face the justice of any other person will take over power for Cameroon. How Paul Biya go do it? The best way for secure himself and prevent himself so make not end up in jail. Now for put a pikin for guarantee say a retirement, it will be peaceful. Make a show now what it happen. I explain the psychology and the dynamics of what it happen for La Republic of Cameroon. Now watch. Make a bring una the second video and then I tell una what to go on for inside La Republic of Cameroon. Tell una what to go on. I want to be very important for the Ambazonian people then. Because when I need for prepare ourselves, when I need for get ready. Because it no go easy. What did happen? Paul Biya, before they want to do this transition, they take Frank Biya, they introduce him to the people that get power. On a year fine. They disturb Frank Biya to the kingmakers. Right now, they don't take Frank Biya, they go for northern Cameroon. They go for far north. They go for all those Lamido them. For all the big imam them. The people that then they control the culture, that they hold the tradition. The people that then they be the real leaders of those provinces, of those communities. So that they go for them first. They go for them. They go get their consent. They go tell them. They shake their hand that the next president is. When I remember, Paul Biya don't succeed for stay for power this long, not been through the ballot box, but because Paul Biya used a sociological strategy, a social strategy, a cultural strategy, and then he used a military strategy. Then he also used money For go for all the elites, all the lamidos, all the funds, all the chiefs, all the people when they be the kingmakers of cultures. And then he establish power with them. He make all them make the be under probably a direct payroll. So if you be a big imam, your salary, your kingdom, your your palace, it be sponsored, funded by probably directly from the Republic of Cameroon presidency. So it don't buy these people their power. It no need for do any development. It no need for build clinic. It no need for give water. It already buy power from the people that get power within those culture. So they guarantee power. There's no agitation. What did he do him now? Now the same thing we don't do for himself. It transfer that loyalty, that commitment, that pledge. It transfer them now to Peking. So that when the kingmakers, they agree, say, okay, at the next president, they shake their hand, they take their big envelope for all across the 8 regions of Cameroon. The deal already be sealed culturally. Now listen very carefully. They seal the deal through a cultural traditional process first, through the cultural kingmakers and the social kingmakers. They go seal the deal first. Once they don't seal that deal, now within the community there is no more objection, there's no more rejection. All those funds, chiefs, lamidos, imams, all of them are members of the CPDM Central Committee. So power already be guaranteed at the first base, at the foundation. Power don't be guaranteed. The transfer of power already be secured, smooth and secure. You cough. Why did he bring in the bees? Did he bring in the bees? I say you not get any choice than for accept them. So they do them traditionally, culturally, socially, and then they use military force for seal all man in mob. For seal all man in mob. And for put gun for your head. You see this gun? If you open your mouth, you object them, will finish you. So now two strong approach that use them. A cultural, social approach, and then a fear-imposed bullet approach. Are the two strategies than that. What they use them for cement the deal. And they bring all this one for understand. That's why Dr. Cho Lucas Ayaba, he don't insist on the Ambazonian people then for arm ground zero. It predict what it come. It see what it come. And it tell us say, if we not build a strong force on the ground, when things they change for Cameroon, the conversation at the end for the international community about this conflict will change when I hear fine. Poor beer be been at the problem. Poor beer not the problem. Not the source of the problem, not the problem. The one shift poor beer for corner, put another person and then disassociate that person from the problem. It could change the conversation for the international community about the conflict. That's why we need for prepare ourselves. We need for prepare ourselves. The political transition for Cameroon will get a direct impact on the conflict. And also we not want to hear these things. We not prepare ourselves. We not leave and make the conversation change. Because they will shift the narrative and the conversation to a new direction. That's why Dr. Cho the one wanna buy guns, arm the ground. Today I just finished to do a research. My corona something. Now just give me a moment. I just finished this afternoon to do a research on conflict resolutions. When I hear what they talk, Now in this, when I hear what they talk say the most important thing during an armed conflict at the translator, the most important thing during an armed conflict, where it go determine the nature of negotiation, not the nature of fighting on the ground. When I hear the thing where it determine a negotiation process, whether I go for your direction or I go for the other direction, that the nature of fighting on the ground. Dr. Cho don't want the Ambazonian people there. If we not put enough guns on the ground for give the power for control the environment, when the time reach, if you not get control, you not get anything on the table. That's why I feel very sorry. See, after 5 years, when I get all this movement them, when I get the IG of Ayoktabe, when I get the IG of Yerima, because those two IG don't divide. IG Kondengi, is there on his own, Yerima there on his own. So now two IG now, the day between IG Yerima and IG Seseko, na two IG the day. IG Seseko for Kondengi, IG Yerima, na two IG. Then you work almost as one. Then you get the IG of Sako. Ask yourself, after 5 years, wait till the IG of Seseko fit prove them as their own leverage on the ground in terms of the armed conflict. Wait till IG Yerima, because Yerima come in for 2018, where Seseko appoint after the catch, he put Yerima and then Sako can take over. Wait till IG Yerima, it don't fit, put them on the ground as their own force, their own leverage on the ground against Cameroon. Wait till Sako, don't build them for honor. They come, they try for create county by county, for take all forces, put down that Sako, and then they say, oh, na AMF, and then they say, oh, na AROF, and then now they say, oh, na Unity Warriors. No direct force, no day where Sako, a build them, a create them for the Ambazonian people then. So now wait till we own leverage for the negotiating table. Nothing. Una open una ear them, una open una eye them, Ambazonians. Mop. You know they. Now in that, they talk the most important thing for negotiation for an armed conflict, now the nature of force on the ground where you get them. You not get them, you not get any leverage. Now the see what did happen between Russia and Ukraine. Russia don't attack Ukraine. The first thing we do now for take part of Ukraine, shake them. Knock Ukraine off, occupy those areas. Before they want to go negotiate these things, before they want to go negotiate them, they will say, hey, Russia don't take Crimea. It take the southern part of Ukraine. It take Kherson. It take this. It don't occupy them. You think they will just save Russia come out? No. There will be a compromise solution. Russia not be stupid because he wants something for that war. He not invade Ukraine for nothing. He wants something. And he go get them. And not talk say be right, it be wrong. And they just tell you the truth of how armed conflict did work. If you not get a strong game on the ground, it will waste your fucking time. If you not get a strong game on the ground, it will waste your time. And you waste the population their time. They don't waste your time for far too long. If we allow ourselves, Cameroon, the dynamics of Cameroon change. We go push the discussion for a different level, and I know we'll be very happy with that. We're going to take advantage of the leadership with Dr. Chua Yabadi provide them for now. The AMBAZONIA Governing Council are the most consequential movement on the ground, both on the ground and in the diaspora. Now one, the Hague of Sea, according to from 1st of October, the international community, it don't come to the conclusion, say the AMBAZONIA Governing Council are the most consequential group on the ground. All the rest are noise makers. Hague of Sea get forces for 8 states in AMBAZONIA. 8 under one direct control. So they be the most consequential group. For anything to happen, whether in a dialogue all negotiation, it must be with the most consequential group, and then the most consequential group, it will constitute other groups where it thinks they also get a form of impact, and then form an alliance for negotiate. So make you understand, the era of popularity, say popularity will give you power, it need to exist during an armed conflict. An armed conflict, now gun be the power. A gun be power. The amount of guns you get them on the ground, they give you power. Now the thing this will make Ayokabe loss a popularity, it become empty, it become nothing, because they don't use the popularity to build a force for back up that popularity. Ayokabe for be the most powerful Ambazonian leader and a powerful and a movement if he be build any. The only thing we remain for ye now the image of a person as a good leader, but there is no backing, there is not enough back that we be as a person. And the fact say it be a prisoner, it also give you that voice, but there is no backing. Yerima IG, there is no backing. Sako IG, there is no backing. Sako, with all the popularity we take them from Ayokabe IG, with all the money they raise them, with all the noise they make them, Swiss, they can't test them. They realize and say, no, get nothing. At the end, if it been a noise and propaganda, it don't really get power. With the Swiss, they feel convinced Biase come on the table. That's why the Swiss process failed. Not be say it failed because the Swiss they be unwilling. Yes, the process be start through a corrupt process, but they be one make it succeed. But when La Republique and Swiss, they realize and say, the Sako they go engage, you don't really get much on the ground. Not be forces, you don't get direct command and control. So that's why the one use na ghost town, the one use lockdown, they go call for indefinite lockdown for see if Sako really get control on the ground. It not still stick. And that's why they abandon the whole thing, and the Sako IG collapse. So I hope saying a lesson this for all the rest. The rest in this for all now. For anything for work for Ambazonia, it then for the hands of Ambazonia Governing Council. If Ambazonia get for gain independence, it get for come through the Ambazonia Governing Council today. Because they be the most consequential group with forces for 8 states out of the 13 states. 8 out of 13. So now the power that war na intelligence, war na foresight. You must get a strategy, you must get a roadmap, and you must get a purpose. War not be an agitation. That's why a lot of things don't collapse. So when you understand and they put all these things together for give una a sense of direction. When I focus on Operation 200 AK with Dr. Cho, it don't give una. When I put buy more guns, when I not get much time. When I not get much time, Ambazonia not get much time. Once the political transition take place for La Republique to Cameroon, the conversation will change. And if you not put more guns on the ground before that conversation change, you could be at the losing end. You will be at the losing end. Because the international community will tell you, say, no, see what this person don't come. This person don't get anything for do with the killings of your people. He don't get anything for do with the burnings of home. He don't get anything. And this person, he don't come here for acknowledge the problem and say, make us solve it. We not even make it reach to that level. Because La Republique now, because they don't lost the war, they use now another way for come back inside and change the discussion. Cameroon don't lose the war for Ambazonia. We not live and make a loser, a come back, a reinvent themselves and re-inject themselves and change the narrative and the direction of the conversation. We not take advantage of this moment. We not don't win. We not take advantage of the win. We not put as much guns on the ground. I want to talk to the forces in Emmanuel. Ambazonia don't defeat La Republique of Cameroon. We not stand up. If we not leave them, things they finally work out. Una go leave Manu for a place of shame because of corruption. Una be fighters. Una turn the game over. Una don't leave and make the one they already go collect their money for Cameroon CPDM barons and be fooled by these opposition groups within us. See me they no fight like the Republic of Cameroon. Just see me they make the liberation. It get some opposition from inside. And they call on forces from Manu. Una rise up. It will be too late. Una change. Una stand with the people. Una stand with the population. A moment in history this where every one of una, including all we, will be judged. Now either you take money, you become the dictator, you become the Agbabala, you become the Dr. Nick Santos, you become the Nso Foncha, you become a Nambere, you become a success in Congo. Now which you want to become that? Now how you want to make your own life end for the Ambazonian story? So when the people that knew you the most, you turn against them, become a traitor. Stand up. Be a noble person because the society don't change. The end of Cameroon don't come. Those CPDM elites do not feel safe for now. Una feel safe for themselves by standing up with the population. Una stop the carnage and the torture of the population. Una stop for kill Manu Mami them. Una stop for kill Manu Papa them. Una stop for the burnings of our institutions. Una stop for burn churches and kidnap priests. Una stand up as nationalists. Una rise up as nationalists. It will be too late. It will be too late for una for redeem ourselves. Una not live and make a dying regime, a corrupt elite generation. Una not live and make a drag una into the mud of dirtiness. A liberation process. A process for cleaning our people from corruption and all the evils of the occupation. A liberation process for intensify the practice of those things. When I join the nationalists, when I stand up, when I defend the freedom, when I defend the people, it will be too late. The population will re-embrace una and it will welcome una. For the rest of Ambazonians, for every person, by the time this for buy AK, when I invest, when I listen to the call with Dr. Abacho don't make for all una, when I invest for Operation 200 AK, when I buy una AK, buy AK, when I buy AK, the more we arm structured forces, the better our chances. During this period, we don't beat Cameroon hands down. At the discussion this was today, I could do my best for keep in touch and for make sure say no matter what it go on, no matter how busy I be, even if I for make audio, I will make them. All right, my living for here. All right. When I get myself a blessed evening, when I get a good night, when I take good care of myself, I want to thank our people them for their resilience. We get the most resilient population. We get the most resilient people. When I know what when I want them, when I know what when I don't stand for, when I know what it be good for una. And I know say when I go rise up to the call of the leader for do the right thing, for deliver the weapons, the materials, the money with the Ambazonian Defense Forces, they need them for deliver una a free homeland. I the only hope that right now. The egg of sea, the voice, the truth, the way, and the freedom. The egg of sea, Now the most consequential movement for inside Ambazonia liberation struggle. That all discussion for the international community now, it pass now through the Hague of Sea. Anything will get for take place now through Hague of Sea. So now the most consequential group, when I give the most consequential, the most influential, the most impactful group, what you need them, forgive now what you want them. So far, we don't do very well. Una resilience, una determination, una commitment, una truth, una stand for truth, for justice, and for the freedom of the Ambazonian people. Then. So far, no matter what happen, una understand say what we don't build them on the ground, shake in all day. Una good night.